Thank you very much, Ms. Wasserman Schultz. We usually start our days together because we're next door neighbors, and it's a pleasure to see you 14 hours later here on the floor of the House. But I want to thank you for spearheading this effort. I think it's very important, and I know this is near and dear to your heart, and you have done an extraordinary job year after year bringing the Jewish American story to our fellow citizens, and I appreciate it very much. And I can't help but agree with you about the beautiful story that our colleague Allison Schwartz spoke of. I leaned over to you and said, is she talking about her grandmother? And you said, no, that's her mother. And I know how much that means. I also have heard her story many times, and it also puts a lump in my throat as well. Um, uh, Congressman Wasserman Schultz, my family story is very much an American Jewish story, and not unlike so many millions of other American Jews that came to our shores from other places. My mother's side of the family comes from Thessaloniki, Greece, where there was a very vibrant community, Jewish community, prior to World War II. The population of Thessaloniki, Greece, were Jewish before World War II, but by the time the Nazis finished, there were only 1,000 Jews left in Salonika out of the 80,000 that existed and lived there and thrived there prior to World War II. I'm not presumptuous enough to think that my family would have been among those 1,000 chosen to live. On my father's side of the family, from the Russia-Poland border, an entire culture from 1,000 years of Jewish culture in that part of the world was exterminated as a result of World War II. My family escaped both the Russia-Poland area and the Thessaloniki, Greece, in order to come to our nation's shores. And I grew up hearing stories of what their lives were like, where they came from, and how thrilled and excited they were to come to the United States of America, and truly felt this started as a haven. It was the very survival of my family. Had they stayed where they lived in Europe, we would have been exterminated in the Holocaust. But we did survive. We came to this remarkable country where not only did we have an opportunity to survive, but we've had an opportunity to thrive. I'm second-generation American. When my grandparents came here, and this is a story that is so common among American Jewish families, they couldn't speak English, they had no money, they had no skills. The only thing they had was a dream, and that dream was that their children and their children's children would have a better life here in the United States than they had where they came from. I often think of myself, and I hope this isn't too presumptuous, as my grandparents' American dream, but I think even in their wildest dreams, they never would have imagined that they'd have a granddaughter that was serving in the United States House of Representatives. I often do this. When I'm doing this, I often think of my grandparents and realize that they went through so much in order to come to this country, and we've been able to share in the extraordinary success and largesse of this remarkable country. We, we are very lucky as an American Jewish community to be very much a part of the fabric of this great country, to have full acceptance, to be able to access the highest levels of power, to actually be able to effectuate meaningful change in a very positive way by participating in the American political process. My father, much like so many of the others that spoke today, is also a World War II veteran. He's 85. His name is George Levine. He's still working. But I think what demonstrates our commitment and our love of this country and our patriotism as American Jews is the fact that my father also joined the Navy when he wasn't quite old enough to do so, but he wanted to fight for his country. He wanted to stand up and do something positive for the United States of America to show that we belonged here and we were part of this great country. There are 500,000 Jews that served in the American Armed Forces during World War II, including numerous Jews who rose to the rank of general, and several more were admirals. Now, my father was never an admiral in the Navy, but he served, and he served his country proudly and well, and I continue to be very proud of him. We have made more than a life for ourselves in the United States of America. We are very proud Americans, and we're very proud Jews. And we appreciate so much the fact that this country offered so many remarkable opportunities and gave us a chance not only for survival, but to become a part of something so much bigger than ourselves. I think it's incumbent, and I think most Jews feel this way, that given the rights that we have here in the United States also comes responsibilities, and those responsibilities mean good citizenship and participating in the political process and voting and being knowledgeable and getting a good education so that you can not only be part of the foundation of this country, but to give back to a country that has given us so many opportunities. So I am very much a part of the American Jewish community, but it's a story that so many of us share with our fellow Americans. And Ms. Wasserman Schultz, I want to thank you very much for giving us a chance to thank this great for taking us in, but for letting us be so much a part of not only the culture and the political life, but to be very much involved in the greatness of the United States of America. Thank you for giving me this chance.